Here this person says, it is estimated that up to 20 trillion in wealth and over 10 million men, women, and children were stolen from Africa during the era of colonization. If that does not destabilize and impoverish someone, what does? By your name, I try not to judge, based on things like this, but Bay Area People's Republic. I think you're telling me everything I need to know. Again, slavery, colonialism, a terrible, evil thing. No one can deny that. I don't. Has it set us back? Absolutely. I'm always the first one to say that we did definitely suffer arrested development. We were doing fine for a while, then slavery came, followed by colonialism, followed by the end of colonialism, because like many, I question if we really, if the end of colonialism really truly happened, because yeah, there is neocolonialism. But again, where I disagree is when it comes to neocolonialism, we're not poor because of neocolonialism. I think it's because we are poor, but we are still neocolonized. And I explained this in another video that you can check out. We're going to put the link. So that phenomenon might explain it somewhere else. Was it horrible? Yes. Do we have a right to be angry? Absolutely. Do I understand that some and many are still in that place of anger? I got it. But we can't stay in that place. Be place of anger for anger's sake, and blaming for blaming's sake. However wronged one has been, at some point, we got to try and carry on. In fact, that's the job of all of us, people who are alive, have to do. I learned that when my husband passed away, my first husband passed away. What I learned was, he's gone. Circumstances were very hard. And then you learn that if you stay alive, you have to move on. Otherwise, and I thought about it myself in this case, you think about following him in death. And then that's it, that ends it, and that's fine. Or maybe not, I don't know. I just know that I went through those. But if you stay alive, then so is the irony of life. But one must go on, and one must find the grace to go on. And in this situation, at least for me, and I'm only speaking for myself, you see, that's also how I look at it. Because I cannot be a zombie of sort, living in a past that makes you so angry. No, at some point once the grieving has gotten to the next stage, you try to kick back, try to change things. So what I'm learning with all of this is we all are at various stages of the grieving process from that part of our history. Sometimes I lose patience. I'm like how, and I'm sure you see it with your friends oftentimes, something happens, and to you, the person to whom it didn't happen, you're looking at your friend, you definitely have a compassion for your friend. You know that the way your friend feels, it's only normal. Yet you also know that in order for this friend to honor life, this friend must go on. And going on does not mean, oh, this never happened. We're denying any of that stuff. That's not what it means. But I've also learned that when you say that too early to someone, they might take it the wrong way. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what's happening with some people who just get so furious when they see a title saying, Africa is not poor because of colonialism. And all I can say to people who are in that space, that mental framework of just being so viscerally feeling attacked in their dignity because I said that. I know where you're coming from. I used to be in that space once upon a time. It is a place where you are. There's nothing right about it. There's nothing wrong about it, sorry. Nothing. It's just your space about this in this point in time. And that is okay. But you also have to see where I'm at in my grieving process. Just like after my husband passed away, and I went through all of these emotional roller coasters. And at some point, I look around and I'm like, I'm alive. And there is nowhere to go but up and forward. So I got to build that up and forward. And so here, that's what I propose myself to do. And that's what I propose others who are in the same space that I am to do. Those of us who are saying, surely, we got to go on. And how do we go on productively, constructively? How do we make this reality we all want so badly? How do we make it happen? And for me, I believe in prosperity. I believe we have to build prosperity for our nations. And the way we do that is through entrepreneurial value creation. Entrepreneurs building companies, building up the economy. That's it. And for that, though, we need the right business environment. And when one hears that and says, I'm with you, and then to realize that African nations, in their overwhelming majority, look like a village. Because when it comes to lack of economic freedom, Africa all of a sudden looks like a village. You know, like how we always like to say, Africa is not a country. Well, in this case, we awfully look like a country. Because how else do you explain that out of 54 nations, it's only 4 of them that are in the bottom top of indexes like the Doing Business Index ranking, measuring how hard or easy it is for any entrepreneur to start and run a business anywhere in the world. And that everyone else, except for 4, all other nations they share something in common. They're in the bottom half of a doing business. It's embarrassing. It is unacceptable. But it's also so much hope. Because you see, there's nothing worse than having a problem and not really understanding, what can I act on to try and fix this? When here, all of a sudden, the diagnosis is in your face. It means there's room for improvement. It means there's room for change. So let us act on this. Let us act on these key factors and let us see if it's not going to make a difference. And the beauty here is we know that every nation that started playing with this factor of economic freedom has seen the magic happen for themselves. So I am full of hope. Full of hope. No one will ever erase our history, but I sure want to make sure that I'm going to be part of writing my future. And that's really all I can do. There's nothing I can do about what happened before. But what is ahead of me, you sure heck count on it. There's everything I can do with it. And if I don't do it today, it is the Africans of tomorrow. Because at some point they're going to wake up. And I do not want that 60 years from now, because we today have completely failed the mark, have done nothing to change things. Instead, we just sat there and said, we're still being neocolonized, that's why we're poor, when it was upside down. 60 years down the road, those kids, I tell you, I bet you anything they want. They're not going to be saying we're poor because of colonialism that happened 100, and say, ended 120 years ago. They're not going to say that. I'm telling you. They're going to say that you, me, and everybody else failed them miserably. You do whatever you want, but I'm not going to be part of that history. I refuse to. So I'm doing what I can. Call me naive. Call me stupid. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm showing up and that I'm trying something. Especially something that it looks like no one has been working on for the past 60 years. It's pretty indicting, isn't it? So yeah, keep on complaining. I get it, it's fine. But I'm here for all those of us who, like me, are saying something is not adding up. And this lack of economic freedom thing seems to make sense. Let us see if we can't do something about it. That's what I'm here for, and that's who I'm here for. So whenever you're done blaming and complaining and being miserable, whenever you're done with that and you say, you know what, I'm ready, we will be right there waiting for you. No judgment will be made, nothing. We will just say, hey, we have room for you over here in the battle. So come on over whenever you're ready, the door is open. That's all I can offer for now.